Hola, hola. My name is Ramon, cosmetic formulator, esthetician, lover of all things Korean beauty. Here we are. I'm back from Korea. It's been a minute, but now we can actually talk about all the things I bought while I was in Korea. Because I landed in Seoul with an empty suitcase and flew back with an overweight bag. So I'm going to talk about all these sunscreens, all the makeup products, actually didn't buy that much extra skincare, but all these things I bought at Olive Young, all the different stores and boutiques in Korea. Let's get into it. There's not necessarily going to be a rhyme or reason to how I'm going to talk about the products necessarily, because they're just a pile in front of me. But if at any point you do see a product or line of products you want me to talk about and do a full review of on the channel, do let me know in the comment section down below as well. So obviously the store I was most excited for was Olive Young. If you do not know, Olive Young is essentially like Walgreens. Well, it's more like the cosmetic section at Target or Boots, if you're more familiar with those retailers. It's a space you have pretty much only skincare, as well as some makeup, some hair care, some other stuff, but really focus around cosmetics in Korea. And it's beautiful. The first one I went to was the one in Hongdae, but then we really went to the one in Myeongdong the most. Both of those are different areas of Seoul, and I spent a lot of money. And my primary focus was obviously sunscreen. I wanted to get as many sunscreens as I could in Korea, but also had a big focus on water resistant, sweat resistant sunscreens. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification bell, so when I do the review for those sunscreens, you'll get notified. I guess the first thing I want to talk about is the first thing I noticed at the first Olive Young I went to was they have an entire men's makeup section. Yeah, you go to some stores, they have like men's skincare where it's just like a 17-in-1 moisturizer, cleanser, everything. No, Olive Young had a men's makeup section. It featured foundations, BB cushions, concealers, brow products, specifically targeted towards men. I don't know why I beelined it for that. The first brand I saw, because it was top shelf and it was obviously the first thing that caught my eye, was a brand called Be Ready. And come to find out, this is an Amore Pacific brand, and the whole line is intended to be essentially products, like base products that are lightweight, have really good coverage, and have long lasting power. I bought initially shade 4 because I only have 5 shades. I bought shade 4 because it looked good in the store. It was a little bit too fair, so I went and bought shade 5. That was the perfect match. My boyfriend also really liked it. We loved it so much that we bought a total of 4 extra backups, so we have 5 total of them now. And yeah, these are really nice BB cushions. I also went and bought the concealers to match along with it. Really, really enjoy this. Check out my TikTok and my Instagram. I have kind of mini application reviews of both of the products, but I'm wearing them right now. They just have a very natural skin look, very long wear, and even without setting them, I find that they are semi-satin matte and have really good staying power. Definitely a hit. Let's talk some more makeup while I'm here. I also went to Innisfree because they're everywhere in Korea and bought the ever famous No Sebum powder. This is just a very finely milled, very, very absorbent powder. Great for oily skin. Then it's great at diffusing the appearance of pores. This is one of the biggest powders in Korea, and it was sold out like the first 3 Innisfree stores we went to, so it was definitely a hassle to find. Before I found that though, I found a version of this that was like a hydrating powder. I didn't get the vibe that it was like necessarily hydrating, and like I know Becca at one point had like a hydrating under eye powder. Very different experiences. I didn't see the hydration behind the Innisfree version, but it was a good powder nonetheless. I also bought the No Sebum setting spray. Jury's still up on this. I'm trying to figure out how to use it the best way possible. Sometimes I use it and it works. Sometimes I use it and it's like very greasy. But this powder, I understand the hype, love it, wearing it right now. And I've only done 1 application of it today and I think I still look great. We went to 3CE, which if you don't know, 3CE is like a really, really hot, like very, very poppin' like makeup store. I guess it's where like all the younger girls go in Korea to shop for makeup, but it's huge. And I bought a few products from them. I was looking for a brow mascara or like a brow product that I can use in my brows to hold them in place, because especially this brow right here, the hairs never stay. And so in my mindset, I was like, I know, especially like Asian mascara, so Japanese, Korean mascaras are really water resistant and very, very strong holds. Find a clear lash mascara you can use on your brows. Well, that didn't happen. I accidentally bought this, which is very, very black, but works very well on my boyfriend's eyebrows. I did buy this one from them too. And this is like an actual brown brow mascara. It works okay. It works decently. The color, it's a little bit lighter than my brows are, so I can't go heavy with it, because if not, my hair is dark and my brows are light, it doesn't look cohesive. These are okay. They have decent holds, which for me to say they have decent hold means they have really good holds. And then I bought 1 concealer from Clio. This is their Kill Cover Airy Fit Concealer. I got the shade SD1, which is like, again, the darkest shade. One thing about Korea is I am the darkest shade in a lot of things. This is a really nice concealer. It's actually a little bit darker than I am right now. It's like my tan shade. So I use this as a very subtle bronze contour situation. Really nice concealer. Hate the applicator, but Kill Cover, if you don't know, is like really big like cushion in Korea. It's Clio is one of their biggest like cosmetic brands, and the Clio Kill Cover cushion was really popular. So the concealer, really wanted the concealer to try it out, bought it, and it's nice for what it is. When I actually tan and can match it, I'll do a better review of that. The one thing that's worth noting is while Korea had like specific sections for men's makeup, obviously like all the other products, they didn't have full ranges of shades, but the 2 to 3 cushions that they did have were generally a lot darker than the same ranges that they offered for women, which is really interesting to point out. well. Actually, Be Ready was one of the most extensive shade ranges we saw for both men and women because it had 5 shades. I was shade number 5, so. And the last makeup product I bought is from a brand called Jungsemul. She is a really big makeup artist in Korea. She's basically like their version of like Pat McGrath, Mario, Kim's makeup artist. And so she has her own line. She has her own stores even. So we bought the Essential Skin Neuter Longwear Cushion Foundation. If you go to her stores, they have 2 lines of cushion foundations. One's more like a natural glowy finish and one is a natural matte finish. I got the matte version. I'm still the darkest shade in this product, which it's Korea. I'm used to this whenever I go there and travel. But yeah, basically it's just a little bit of a higher end cushion. If you don't know what cushion foundation is, it comes like this. You get a little air cushion that comes with it. And then the product is inside of this. That's what it looks like. You just press the air puff in and then you stipple it out. This is your makeup applicator and blender all in one. I love these, especially because they have a very natural look. Generally, they have some skincare benefits and sunscreen. So I haven't tried this one yet. I briefly color matched myself in store. I don't think it's a perfect color match, but we can make it work. The only makeup product I really wanted that I could not get is Estee Lauder. We all know it over here. They have cushion foundations in Korea. A lot of brands we know here have cushion foundations when they're in Korea, specifically the Double Wear line, which if you don't know, the Double Wear foundation is like a super famous, super old school foundation, really, really famous and well known because it's very high coverage, very matte, very long wear. I was dying to find that cushion foundation, but I think they had just announced that they were launching it and it hadn't actually launched anywhere in store just yet. Hopefully when I go back in October, November, I will definitely get my hands on that. Also, fun fact, if you are a K-pop stan, Yoona from Girls' Generation is the face of Estee Lauder in Korea. Let's get to skincare. While I'm here, I'm just gonna go through it as I see it. So we were in the Clio store. They also had a skincare wall, which wasn't Clio skincare, but like the same parent company. And I saw this, and the first thing that caught my eye was Azaleen, which if you don't know, Azaleen is used a lot as a soothing ingredient. Guaiazaleen is another way of saying it, as well as blue tansy oil. Then I looked and this is a powder toner. And if you look, up here is liquid, but down here it's like a very opaque like layer. And I believe this is powder that's suspended in the whole vehicle. So I saw that and I was like interested in trying this out. This seems very interesting, especially for like a hot, muggy summer day. I have yet to actually try this out, but it is in my bathroom. It's something I'm going to be trying out very soon. It's going to be 100 degrees next week, so I'll definitely be able to put this to work. But I saw that, super intrigued, instantly put it in my basket. Not skincare, but definitely lifestyle. When we first got to Korea, the people that we were with, they took us to a specific area of Korea called Garosugi. It's a very famous area. It's very hip. It's very stylish. It's near Gangnam. And they took us to a store called Gentle Monster. And it's apparently a super hot store in Korea, and they're known for sunglasses. The same parent company, or I think Gentle Monster themselves, own a separate store called Tambourines, which is basically like a scents store. So they have like candles, perfumes, lotions, all that shit. It's like Aesop. Aesop, we went through, smelled all the stuff. It was a super cool experience. Follow me on TikTok because we'll have the video footage of what that whole store experience was like. It was like fragrance store meets art exhibition. But we bought a couple scents from them. My boyfriend specifically bought one called Sun and Soul. This one is a bright, light, citrusy, bergamot focused scent. And what's interesting is these aren't intended to be skin fragrances. They're intended to be like fabric fragrances. So you spray them on your clothes. I spray them on my skin. I got no issues with that. And then the one I bought was But I Wouldn't Go Home Yet. They had the weirdest names there. I will be very upfront about that. This one, I can't necessarily like pin the smell of this. It's very warm to me though. I don't know if it has necessarily like oud or sandalwood in it. I think it has sandalwood. It smells delicious. These were like very like mid-tier fragrances. They weren't anywhere near like a luxury price. I did also buy a hand cream while we were there just because the packaging for this is so cute. It's like a little hand cream purse. This one is called, I actually know the name of this one, but it has vanilla, cedarwood, and benzoin in it. Again, it's just like a very warm, light scent. I just really love the packaging. This fits nicely into like a little satchel or like messenger bag. Super cute. And I actually forgot, we did go and buy sunglasses at Gentle Monster. That was a whole day of things. And it's really cool because you go and you go through the different floors, to the different models that they have. You pick the one you want, and then upstairs they have them, and then they specifically like heat and meld the frame of it to specifically fit your face to make sure that it's even, it sits evenly on your ears. There's not any weird like imperfections on it. So watching that was a whole experience. It was very cool. So these are the ones that I bought. I think they're really cute. They have yellow lenses. I love the white frame. It's giving like, to me, like 80s, 70s, like Miami Vice cop, in my opinion. Also, these are the cases. These are very cute, like vinyl. And these are the ones that my boyfriend bought. Let me tell you, these are so cute. These were not cheap, but it was a whole fun experience. One in Korea, you know? So aside from that, back to skincare, we obviously in Garosugi were walking around and they have a huge Dr. Jar pop-up. And each floor of the space dedicated to like a different line. So they have a whole section dedicated to their new like teal line. It's like their pore focus line. But obviously we know the the Cicapair line is my favorite. They have a whole section where they just have all of their products for you to buy from all their lines. I saw this. This is a Cicapair mist. So it's like an air, like you know the thermal mist waters you get from Avent? It's like that, but specifically with the Cicapair line products. So the ingredients in this is actually like a hefty long ingredients list, focused with all the Cicapair products that Dr. Jart uses to help soothe the skin and help restore the skin barrier. I bought 3 or 4 of these because you can't get these here in the West. I first saw Pony, the makeup artist, use this on her like Vogue Go to Bed With Me video like years ago. And I said, I need that expeditiously. And here we are 4 years later. Finally got it. I also bought the pore blurring primer from Dr. Jart. I don't know where that is right now. It's in my bathroom. I haven't used that a lot just yet, but stay tuned. I will be doing more of a full review of that as I get used to it. But surprisingly, I did go crazy just being in that Dr. Jart space. Did not buy as much as I should have. And then some random skincare things I bought. At Olive Young, I saw this one product from a brand called BOH, BioHeal, and it's their Panthenol Cica Blemish 90% Calming Mist. I was on a Panthenol kick because my skin was going through it in Korea, let me tell you. It was very, very hot, very muggy, and I was wearing makeup and you have to wear masks everywhere, so my skin was just not happy. But one product I did use a lot was these pads from a brand called Dermatory, which is actually the same brand that made that Azalene powder toner I showed you. These are their pore pads with 0.45% salicylic acid and centella. If you don't know, in Korea, you can only have salicylic acid in a product up to 0.5%, 0.5%. And my skin was just not cute. My pores were not having it. It was a bad situation. So I needed something with salicylic acid. My boyfriend saw these. He's like, just grab these, try them out. So what I was doing was like every night I would take 3 pads and just put one here, put one here, put one here, leave them on like a DIY sheet mask. That actually did help a lot. So these are actually really nice. I'm still using this. I'm like halfway through the pack right now, but these are cute. I believe you can get these on YesStyle though. One other thing we bought, because obviously I was having trouble skin, was this spot treatment from a brand called Estura. It's their Theracne 365 spot treatment. You're going to find out in Korea, spot treatments really focus more on soothing. So you're going to see centella or like niacinamide, which technically niacinamide has like some anti-acne benefits, but it's not antibacterial in the same way like benzoyl peroxide or sulfur are. So their approach to treating acne is very different, but they also have access to dermatologists if they need it. So this was a nice spot treatment. I mainly use this during the daytime as kind of like a spot primer on the areas that I was having congestion in or that I wanted to stay more matte, like less oily throughout the day. This is nice, but it's not like a high intensity spot treatment like I really needed. We did buy a few setting sprays while we were in Korea just because, again, the idea was in Korea, just because of the heat and the humidity and whatnot, their setting sprays should be like heavy duty extra good, right? So we bought this one from Olive Young. This is from a brand called SAAT Insights, I believe. It's their Ultra Setting Real Fixer. This was just like in a section with all of their other misting products. And so I saw it was really cheap. We bought it. And then at a store called Too Cool for School, which if you don't know, they actually were sold at Sephora, if I'm not mistaken. This is their Perfect Everyday Makeup Fixer Extreme. They have a different version that's not extreme. Obviously, you get the extreme version if you can. Haven't used this very much, so again, I can't really speak to the effectiveness of these. Where I'm at right now, it's going to be very hot and very warm for the next few weeks. So definitely we'll be putting those to the test, and hopefully we'll have like a best of summer setting sprays in the next month or two. So let's get into the sunscreens. I went crazy, let me tell you. So let me just kind of start, if I can, brand by brand or by retail space. I'll start with Innisfree first. As I mentioned, my focus for this trip was water resistant sunscreens. And I got a few from Innisfree, and I actually think you can get these on YesStyle, so it wasn't like a rare find. But ones that I got from Innisfree are their Intensive Long Lasting Sunscreen EX and their Intensive Anti-Pollution Sunscreen SPF 50+, PA4+. Both of these are water resistant. I've only used the green one. It's really nice, but I don't have full thoughts just yet. I will have a specific dedicated video to all the water resistant sunscreens I bought, so stay tuned for that. I did go to the Misha store just to see what they have, and obviously they do have like the Misha Essence sunscreens and all the other ones that I have reviewed on the channel. Fun fact, they reformulated all of them because in the last year, I believe, Misha, instead of going through a separate manufacturer, brought all their manufacturing under their own umbrella now. So they relaunched everything using their own manufacturing space, and they did reformulate some of their sunscreens. So some of their cult favorites, cult classics, now have different formulations. Some of them even have titanium dioxide. So let me tell you, spoiler alert, some of them do not wear or look the same as they used to. But some things I did buy from Misha, from their Cicadan line, their Centella Green Sun Milk. I also have the Sunstick from this in a separate part of the video, so stay tuned for that. And their Safe Block UV Hyaluron Soothing Sun, just because this is more of like a primer texture that felt really, really nice. This was just a lightweight sun milk that has Centella in it, so obviously I love Centella. They were having a buy one, get one for free deal, and so we were looking at things and the girl was picking up like 2, 4 of each thing, and we were like, we really do not need this. We do not have any room in our suitcase. When we were in Jeju, we went to this little mall, and the first store we saw was this little skincare store, and we go in there, and this like older gentleman's working there, and he's like really excited that we're there, so he's like showing us all these testers, and obviously I like beelined it for sunscreen. The first thing I saw was this from a brand called Recipe, I believe. It's their Crystal Sun Spray. Obviously, I was looking for mists and anything sun spray related while I was there as well. I haven't tried this yet. It was actually very affordable. It's like $20. Then I also bought this, and I don't know why, but this just caught my eye for no reason aside from the fact that it had no branding. I hadn't heard of like the name before, and it just seemed so interesting for no reason. This is from a brand called Hanchonsu P07 Sunblock. I've used this once or twice. This is a combination sunscreen, so it has titanium dioxide, so it has a little bit of a cast, but I actually really like the texture of this. This reminds me of a little bit, kind of like the Beauty of Joseon sunscreen, but just a little bit more white casty. We did go to the Etude House store, specifically the one in Hongdae, because fun fact, a lot of the Etude House stores in Seoul have shut down, which is the case for a lot of like brick and mortar retail spaces, specifically in Myeongdong, which is where we stayed for the latter half of the trip. When we first arrived, we told the people we were with that we really wanted to go to Myeongdong, and they said COVID really affected that area hard, so a lot of stores shut down. There are still some spaces open, which I'll have in a separate vlog video, either here or on my TikTok. But at the one we did go to, they did have these Sunscreens, which is their collaboration with Director Pi, which is a huge like social media character in Korea. She does sunscreen and skincare reviews and informative videos. This is specifically the chemical sunscreen just she launched with them. This is their Moisture Sun Cream. They do have a mineral version of this. It was very white casty, so I was not entertaining that right now. So if you really want to review the mineral one, let me know. I'll do like a double review video with them, but I only bought this one. One thing they do have in Korea is a store called Chikor, which they told us is essentially like Korea's version of Sephora. Mind you, Korea does actually have Sephora, so this is just their version of Sephora. And so at Chikor, all the brands that are available there are under a company called Shinsegae, which is essentially Samsung. One thing you're gonna find out, here in the West, we have like umbrella companies like Estee Lauder, L'Oreal, Unilever. In Korea, it's like LG and Samsung, who have a bunch of different companies underneath them, cosmetic companies included. At Chikor, you have a lot of different brands available, and not all of them are owned by Shinsegae or Samsung. There's some other brands there that are like imported brands, like for example, The Ordinary, huge brand in Korea. And it does resemble Sephora because you have like the skincare section, the hair care section, the makeup section. And we walked around, there was a lot of stuff I wanted to get, but I didn't need all of it. And my focus was very specific. So I got a couple products, one of which was from Primera. This is their waterproof sunblock skin relief. I got this because it was a water resistant sunscreen. I have not used this yet. And fun fact, Primera is still as expensive in Korea as it is here in the West. So at Chikor, we did get one hair care product. This is from a brand called Moremo. This is their water treatment Miracle 10. I haven't personally used this. My boyfriend's the one who uses this. He's on a hair journey at the moment. And so he's looking for products to just help tame frizz and fly away, help to add more shine and luster to the hair, make it more manageable. But two products we did get at Olive Young, I forgot to mention, and one of them I have used, from a brand called Dr. Four. I actually don't know how to pronounce this product. It looks like it says, one of, but this is a silk oil essence. Realistically, this feels like a semi-silicone serum-y texture. This kind of more so is one of those products you put to coat the like ends of your hair to smooth out frizz and split ends and whatnot. This is very nice. What I'll do is I'll wash my hair. I don't condition in the shower. I do leave-in conditioner overnight, and then the next day I'll put this in my hair before I style it. This does a lot to add softness to the hair, really tame volume, so really like help to make your hair more manageable, and adds really good shine. The only issue is that it's not super lightweight. So if you have very fine hair, this might make your hair look more greasy. And then something else he bought is from a brand called The Leaf Glam. It's a shine spray. So it's literally just a spray. It makes your hair look very shiny. And he used this on me a couple times. It has no hold. So what I usually do is I'll do like my regular styling products, and if I want my hair to look shiny afterwards, like after hairspray and everything, then I'll go in with a little bit of this, work it through with my hand. This is very interesting. Not that I looked for them before here in the EU or the US, but I've never seen a shine spray specifically before. Back to the skincare. So I didn't get much at Chikor, but the rest of my Olive Young haul, if you're interested in that. First thing I got was from CMP Laboratory. I have used this, and if you follow me on TikTok, this is one I use for like one of my body care TikToks. This is their Outdoor Fluid Sun. This is a water resistant option. This I haven't used on my face yet. On the body, it has a nice texture. This I'm interested to see on the face just because it might be on the verge of being too moisturizing. We'll see. I also bought this, and this is one product I have been on the hunt for. This is from L'Oreal, and it is their UV Defender. I've seen this because you can get this in East Asia, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East. You cannot get it anywhere else. They have a whole line of these sunscreens. I don't know a lot of details about this aside from the fact that it is tinted. So when I do their full review video, I'll give you more details on this. I'm interested to see how it looks on the skin, how much of a tone up or cast it has, and how it works into facial hair. If you know a way way to get the entire line of these UV Defender sunscreens in Europe, let me know, please. A sunscreen I got from Huxley. This is their Secret of Sahara Sun Essence Stay Sun Safe. This, if you don't know, Huxley's like a mid to high tier brand. I might have got this at Shakur actually. I don't really remember, but I really wanted to try Huxley products. They're kind of hard to get here in Europe. They're not widely available like Cosrx, for example. I saw this, I was really excited. Fun fact, this is also available at Korea Sephora, where I did buy a second one of these accidentally, as well as a bunch of other sunscreens. So if you want to see a Korea Sephora haul and review video of the sunscreens I bought there, make sure you hit the subscribe button. But yeah, just like a milky sun essence texture, super lightweight. It's just really small. This is a 50 ml bottle technically, but it's just a really small 50 ml bottle. From Nivea, I got their Protect and Light Feel. I just was really interested to see why Nivea was there. And I haven't used this yet, but it's a big bottle. It was really cheap. This is 90 ml. So I just do this in the cart. I have yet to try it. Interestingly enough though, it's SPF 50 plus, PA 3+ only. So that's interesting. One sunscreen that was literally like, I think the first night I went to Olive Young in Hongdae, it's like the first or second sunscreen I tried out, and it was an automatic throw it in the cart from AHC. So they're Safe On Light Sun Serum. Apparently you can actually get this easily here in Europe. I know my friend Julian has tried it out and I think he got his on Yes style, but the packaging is different. But this is literally like the lightest weight gel sunscreen I've ever used in my life. But coincidentally, while it is really, really lightweight, it is also very glowy on the skin. So those who don't match, with that being said, I also love a glow. So I don't mind wearing this having oily skin because I think it is like the perfect weight and texture for oily skin. It's just not the finish you would anticipate. Also a lot of technology behind this. Specifically, it's meant to really hydrate the skin, help with texture, but really help with pigmentation and have really, really good photo protection. The UV filters in this are encapsulated to help give it that light texture. So yeah, it's really interesting. This is actually manufactured by Cosmex, so not Colmar like all the other sunscreens are. I actually got to meet with Cosmex for a fun project I'm working on. Just getting to hear and see the technology that the company offers was really cool. So seeing it in this, I was really excited. One of the sunscreens that I got that became an instant favorite as well. So this is one of my top sunscreens from Olive Young thus far, from a brand called SNP, which stands for Shining Nature Purity. This is their Cool UV Protect Air Cool Sun Cream. This is just another gel. This is very reminiscent to me of actually the Biore Aqua Rich Watery Essence. Fun fact, in Korea, when you buy a sunscreen, a lot of times the boxes don't just have one. You'll get two sunscreens, or like a full-size sunscreen and a mini, or a full-size sunscreen and like a sampler of like a cleanser from the line. So I spent like $10 or $15 on this and I got two full sizes of this. So really, really like this sunscreen thus far. Again, stay tuned for that review, but one of my favorites from the trip for sure. One brand that I got from Olive Young, this is called Shinmul Nara. I don't know if this is like their house brand or what, but I got this sunscreen spray from them. And I only say house brand because they had a lot of these and they were really, really cheap. But this is their sunscreen spray. The entire thing is in Korean, so I do not know what it says yet. I have not tried this out yet, so stay tuned for that review. But I did get a couple others from the same brands. Again, this is a different line, I believe, but the whole thing's in Korean, so I don't know what it says just yet. So I'll definitely be excited to try these out, find out what the packaging says, and find out what the actual purpose of these are. But obviously, when you're in Olive Young and you see sunscreens, especially that are really affordable, you're just gonna automatically put them in your cart. Another Nivea one, it says their Triple Protect Oil Control. I bought this because this was actually, I believe, only like $9, and I see oil control on it, and I was like sold automatically. And this does offer blue light protection. It's supposed to do a lot of other stuff too, specifically be for oily skin. And plus it's from Nivea, whose parent company is Beiersdorf, who makes two of my favorite sunscreens for oily skin. So I was super hyped. Oh, also this is supposed to be for like acne prone skin as well. I think it's supposed to have acne focused technology or whatever. This is not matte, which is really disappointing. You'll see the full video when I do the full review, but this was kind of a want situation. It's not horrible, but again, it's oil control. It's for acne prone skin. The actual finish and wear of it was not what I expected. That's probably my bad, but stay tuned for the review. So Olive Young, obviously a hot store. I found out if you don't follow Odile Manad, you really should. She's like a really great authority for like all things Korean beauty. She did a whole thing talking about, there was like a marketing survey that was done to find out the hottest and most popular like sunscreen brands in Korea. The number one brand is Dr. G. And when you're in Korea, specifically Seoul, you'll see Dr. G adverts everywhere, on billboards, on buses, everywhere. And so when you go to the actual Olive Young stores, there's entire sections of the stores dedicated to Dr. G. A lot of the Dr. G sunscreens are mineral focused or they're very tone up. So I was automatically like, no. But this sunscreen, let me tell you, if you missed the Purito Centella Safe, the old one that, got canceled, this is a very good alternative to that in terms of texture, finish, and results. This is moisturizing, but it's lightweightish enough that it's good for oily skin. It's a very glowy finish, but it's very soothing. So after I shave, this is definitely a sunscreen I like to put on. I believe it's alcohol free too, so you don't get that like burning sensation. Love this. Great under makeup, a favorite. I think when we go back, we will repurchase a few of these. And then this sunscreen, I believe I got at Olive Young, but I actually cannot remember. It's from a brand brand called Bella Monster. It's a Derma Solution Mild Sun Cream. Don't know why I bought this. I think it was just very cheap. I think the tester didn't give us a white cast. That was really how we went about buying these. We would try out the testers, never got a cast. We said no. If it was clear, it was all clear. This bag is full of sun sticks. When you're in Korea, you like look at all the sunscreens, and sun sticks are really hot just because they're a really portable way to reapply sunscreen throughout the day. They're very convenient and you get a lot of fun textures and finishes. So this bag is just full of sun sticks. First one we have from AHC. This they had the tester of in Olive Young. They didn't have the actual product available. So you went to the AHC store, literally like a block away to buy this. Beautiful store. Another one from CMP. This is their Derma Shield Sun Stick, mild and protective, from a brand called Bring Tree. Their Tea Tree Sika Cooling Sun Stick. Cooling is a very popular marketing thing we saw while we were there. A lot of these, you try them out and you do feel like a very cooling sensation, and a lot of it's not actually associated with menthol, but you see that a lot when you're shopping there. From that Shigmulnara brand again, we have a couple sun sticks from them, and as I told you, you see, you buy one, you usually get two, so that's really cool. Fusion C, another really hot brand for sunscreens in Korea. A lot of them gave white cast, but not the sun stick, so we did buy one. From a brand called Dr. Ato. I think we just bought this because it was very cheap. I have not used this yet, but it's their Silky Pocket Sun Stick, whatever that means. From the Sam, this is their Eco Earth Power Waterproof Sun Stick. We bought it because it was waterproof, but also the Sam, when I first went to Korea a few years back, had one of my all-time favorite sunscreens, and they discontinued it. Wonder why, but really enjoy their sunscreens. From Cynic, I bought their Enjoy Super Active Airy Sun Stick. I believe this might be water resistant, which is why I bought it, but I can't confirm just yet, but it says active, so I assume it's for like athletic purpose. From 3CE, this is actually the first sun stick we bought on the trip. This is their primer sun stick. This has like a very silky, but like demethicone like primer texture. So we bought it for that reason, just to see how it wore with makeup and if it would be mattifying, but yeah, this was also not cheap. From Innisfree, their Intensive Leisure Sun Stick. I believe this might be water resistant as well, and so that's why we bought it. This is another sun stick we actually bought at the Sem store. This is from their men's line though. This is their Mineral Black Sports Sun Stick. Potentially is water resistant. I am not 100% sure just yet, but I believe we like swatched this in store and I don't think it had a cast on us in that lighting, but we'll see. Round Lab, I tried their Birch Sun Cream, loved it. They have a sun stick version of it. Fun fact, they actually have a few different sunscreens in this line in Korea, but the other ones have white cast. This one I believe was a clear like gel sun stick, which is why we bought it. And then from Dr. G, this is their Green Mild Up Sun Stick. This does have a white cast. I think we just bought it for review purposes, for comparison for all these other ones, for example, but it is the #1 sunscreen brand in Korea. So, and the last one is the Dewy Tree Urban Shade Cool Calming Sun Stick. Again, that cool marketing again. This one was a really, really light texture. Love the finish of this. Had a really nice cooling effect. And I actually purchased the other like lotion texture Dewy Tree sunscreens prior on Yes Style. So I don't know if this is actually available on Yes Style or not, but this was, I think, one of our favorites that we swatched in store. So I believe I might have missed one or two products here or there. This is all the products that we bought at Olive Young, at the separate beauty brand boutiques, and at Shikor in Korea. Obviously, I'll be doing a full sunstick video. That's a whole separate concept. But if there's anything else in the video you specifically saw that you're like, I want a review on that product, let me know down below in the comment section. Also, stay tuned because I have a whole separate video reviewing and talking about my Sephora Korea experience and the sunscreens I bought in that space. So hit the subscribe button, notification bell so that you know when that video goes live. But let me know down below in the comment section, have you used any of the products I talked about in this video? What are your thoughts on them? Are there any other products in Korea you think I need to buy? Because I will be going back in this year. I'll be going back in, I think, October, November timeframe. So let me know what products you think I should get in that trip. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification bell so that you know when I post more skincare, sunscreen, and fancy related content on my channel. Give the video a thumbs up, and thanks for watching, guys. Bye.